Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Bougie Sports Podcast. I'm Yvette, your host, and as always, thank you so much for watching this and deciding to join me today. Whether you're watching it live or you came back to watch it, that's even better because that means you care. So, all right, so this is my first test. I said I'm going to do this podcast alone, and I'm just going to go straight up and do it. Try not to edit it because that's when things start getting complicated for me and when it's not fun anymore. And I said, you know what? It's going to be fun. It's going to be May. It's not going to be May. It's almost April, though. So we're almost there. We are close, though, to the NFL draft, which is so exciting. That's a lot of what I'm going to talk about today in this podcast. But before we get started, please subscribe to Bougie Sports on YouTube. You can also check out the website at bougiesports.net. From there, you can look at everything else that we have to offer. We have a few more podcasts out there and plan on doing a lot more coming up. So much to talk about this week. So let's dive right into it. I put together a little slideshow. So ta-da, here it is. All right, let's get started. On the screen there is my beautiful mother and my daughter. March 25th was her second heavenly birthday. Lots of birthdays in March around my mom's Aries. And so I just wanted to start today's show with this photo and share with you guys that this is one of the best moments of my life. My mom and my daughter, being able to meet and me being able to have this picture. Sorry, my dog is chewing a bone right in front of me. And is a treasure. So happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday to all you March birthdays and Aries birthdays. Okay. Kirk Cousins was caught eating a burrito. Actually, I don't know if it was a burrito or what it was. All I know is that he was at Chipotle in Westlake. I think it was. Not sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't know my Cleveland spots. I'll just put that in the vicinity. Causing fans to speculate whether this means Kirk Cousins is headed to Cleveland. Well, last time we seen a picture, remember the Joe Flacco picture in the airport? That happened. So why not this, I tweeted out this morning, at this point, after all the crazy rumors this off season, I'll be ecstatic if Kirk Cousins comes to Cleveland. At the beginning of silly season and all the quarterback talk, hold on. I was anti Kirk Cousins, like, no way can Kirk Cousins come to Cleveland. He doesn't have the swag. He likes shopping at Kohl's is the rumor. I knew for a long time, and I've said this on my podcast for years, that his wife dresses him horribly because we all watched quarterbacks. We all seen it, and it's no surprise. So it just didn't seem to me like this would be the right choice. But after some other crazy options have been tossed in the mix, Kirk Cousins, maybe is starting to not sound that bad to me. He has experience. He is proven to be somewhat good in the NFL in pressure situations. And last time that we went with for a veteran quarterback didn't seem to go so bad. I think Kirk Cousins has a similar play style too to Kevin Stefanski. But, I'm also biased because I'm on the we don't need a quarterback train for the draft right now. So interesting. We will have to watch to see how this plays out. Okay, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard about Steve A. Smith versus LeBron James. Last podcast, oh no, not the last podcast, 2 podcasts ago, maybe. I don't know, whatever, not important. I showed you guys the clip of LeBron approaching Steve A. Smith at the game about his son, and things just got worse when LeBron was on the Pat McAfee show, which is shady. I think that he went on there because Pat McAfee and Steve A. Smith seemed to have a little tension. Although Steve A. Smith said on his podcast that he didn't blame Pat McAfee for anything that he did on a show, that he would have also had LeBron James as a guest. So how much of truth is to that? I don't know, and how much politics that is, with them both being on ESPN playing nice. Still, I think there was an obvious feud there, and LeBron knew where to go to, give it to Steve A. Smith when he finally decided to talk about it. One of the most hilarious highlights of this whole fiasco is that Steve A. Smith said that if LeBron James would have slapped him, he would have, immediately, he would have slapped, whatever. It's just funny to think that Steve A. Smith would really think he can battle LeBron James. Although, he does say he would get his butt kicked, but all right, some comments. Deanna says, Steve A. Smith is dragging this out, and he's so obsessed with LeBron James at this point. I think we need Andy Cohen to host a reunion between them two because we both liked Real Housewives. Is there a neither option? This is in response to my poll that I don't have up there. And I said, whose side are you on, LeBron James or Steve A. Smith? Somebody said this in the comments, which is very true. I at first thought that this poll would be biased, considering that most people that would come across my poll would be in the Northeast Ohio demographic and would, be on the side of LeBron James. But after this fiasco and some other incidents, it is true that I'm not sure what Cleveland's feelings are on LeBron James at this point. I think that with some people, he will always be Cleveland. This is for you, the guy that brought us the championship. And for others, they believe he has an attitude problem. And, obviously we know what Steve A. Smith thinks about the situation, but I'm just loving, all the gossip about this whole thing because it's nice for once, take the drama out of your own lives and just dive into somebody else's drama that really doesn't have a factor on yours, just for entertainment purposes. Speaking of entertainment purposes, look at him right over there. Aaron Rodgers. Hold on a second. Oops. All right. Where is Aaron going to F things up? I cannot stand Aaron Rodgers. He sucks on more than the football field. Obviously, he didn't always suck. I mean, I'm not going to act like he wasn't good back in the day, but he's a horrible person. He just sucks. He has such a punchable face, and he's weird in not a good way, and I feel like he's toxic. So him going to Pittsburgh Steelers or talks about it, I think is just bad news bears for everyone. Number one, do you want Aaron Rodgers to be the face of the terrible towels? Heck no, look at him. He speaks villain. Like I just feel like his venom will just spray on to everyone there and just make them worse than they already are, which, is really hard for Steelers fans to be any worse than they already are. You guys know it. But here is a way that it could happen. Aaron Rodgers. That would be a nightmare. He would be amazing on the Steelers too. That would be the ultimate nightmare, is him performing well and them doing good with Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers beating the Browns. Oh my God. In a Steelers uniform. I mean, I just said it. That's happening now. Ugh. I went to Facebook to ask, what do you guys think about Aaron Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh? Because that is a place where I know I have a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Most of them are my friends and family, unfortunately, but we let that go. We just pretend it's not true. No. I love my Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Do I have to really say that? I'm so sick of having to say that. You guys know that I love you guys. Like, it's all about the sports. It's other people that ruin it for others, that you can't just be like completely rude, because some people are just completely rude, Anyways, it doesn't look like you guys want Aaron Rodgers on your team either. I would read this out loud, but not going to lie. I can't, because I can't see him really. I have it so small on there. But I appreciate the comments, the feedback, and I agree with most of you. Oh gosh, silly season. All right, you guys, let's talk a little bit NFL draft. My favorite thing to talk about. I know it's getting worn out, but don't act like this doesn't happen every single year. We have not much to talk about between February and April in the NFL, but the draft. And it comes so fast. Look, we're almost there. We'll be there in 3 weeks. There's so many different options to happen, so many different scenarios. And every single person that has an opinion about the draft should be taken seriously, because it could happen. People that say the most outrageous things, it could happen. Everyone's just banking on the fact that the Browns are going to do what they should do in getting a quarterback. So there's going to be a lot of unhappy people on April 25th if that doesn't happen. Will I be one of those people that are unhappy? No, I think I can get myself to be okay with any draft pick they have. The worst thing for me would be Shedeur. I think that's the worst option, and I'm going to talk about that. Right here, this is what I said this morning. I'm scared of the Shedeur Sanders circus. This is with Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, where the press around them is more about their personal life than football. So I'm just going to show you this real quick here before I talk a little bit about what I mean. There you go. There is the Shedeur and Deion Sanders circus. So let me just stretch out for this one. All right, let me just explain to you guys straight up what I think. I am so over the Browns being talked about for their off-field antics and not their on-field antics. We just came off a 2-year scandalous tabloid, affair in the Deshaun Watson trade. Now, without even talking about whether or not that was a bad trade, we can all agree that it overshadowed the whole entire season, right? I feel like, after Johnny Manziel, which was an absolute catastrophe. He was someone that the media already had in their grasp before. So, of course, him coming to the Browns was going to be a spectacle. And with that, he brought all his problems, right? And so the tabloids stay, and it just became a spectacle. And then, of course, the problems go onto the field, right? Then, not to mention the other things, Baker Mayfield. Now, I don't think Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel are even in the same category. And I know a lot of people like to compare them at first, but I could say that I know that Baker Mayfield already had that negative spotlight on him where he had problems in college, partying. So it was already, people wanted to know, is that going to happen again? And everybody loves a story. And of course, we had the drama there with Baker Mayfield. Okay. Deshaun Watson, we don't even have to talk about that, right? We all know that. So now here we are in a position to get another quarterback that not only, has, whether or not you want to believe it or not, I don't believe it because I've never met him in my life. And I always take the side of, the media. How can you trust anything? Not everybody, but you know what I mean? Like that stuff doesn't bother me, the attitude and stuff, because that's all opinion, right? Ollie, what scares me the most is fact. His dad is a legend in the NFL. His dad is Deion Sanders. His dad, no matter what he says on television, that his son can do whatever he wants and he's going to support him. That's me paraphrasing it. It's not true because everybody, first of all, is invested in their child. And second, when you have as much power as Deion Sanders, you're going to be brought into it whether you like it or not. So whether we like Deion Sanders coming to Cleveland, some of us like that. I know some people want that attention. They think that's a good spark. Whether you want that or not, it's going to happen because even if the media is going to make it happen, it's going to be the circus. What is, Shedeur going to do in Cleveland? And if he has success, it will be good, right? And everybody will be happy. But if he doesn't, and let's follow the trend of the Browns, if he doesn't have success, he's not going to be happy. Dad's not going to be happy, right? And then the negative shadow over the Browns and that, I just want someone that is going to be a leader on the team and that going to be a franchise quarterback. And I know that that's what everybody wants. And there might not be anyone in this draft. Maybe it is Shedeur, but is that a chance we're willing to take? I don't know. I don't know if I want to see myself in 3 more years thinking, oh my God, I'm glad we're done with the Shedeur Sanders era after the Browns name's been dragged through the mud. Now everybody already hates the Browns fans. Not that it's about us, but it is a little bit. Imagine making Deion Sanders mad. And then everybody's going to really hate the Browns, right? I don't want to deal with that, I just don't. And I don't think that he's good enough to risk it. That's just my opinion. And yes, the NFL draft is so exciting. It's so much fun. And I'm a huge fantasy football player. So that even makes it more exciting because it's like the start of the fantasy football season. Now okay, now we know where these guys are going and how that's going to affect our teams, especially if you're playing Dynasty, which I'm playing now. And before we talk, though, a little bit about fantasy, I just wanted to talk, let's wear out the draft just a little bit more, why not? Yeah. It's crazy, right? Because we will really hear something different every day. One day it's like the Browns are definitely taking Shedeur, right? The next day it's like, no, the Browns, they're going to take Abdul Carter. Everybody has a source that they know. My thing is nobody knows. Nobody is going to know until that day what's going to happen. It's so exciting. Hopefully exciting in a good way, The draft this year is in Green Bay, which that's one of the places that I'd like to visit. I've never been to their stadium, and they seem like a fun crowd of fans. They have a lot of energy, and you can always just tell. It just seems like, and they don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. Good job, All right. Am I playing fantasy football now? Yes, I am. I'm drafting best football teams, and I'm using this new this new app, Fast Draft. Download it, use code word bougie, and you can get up to $50 match pay. And if you do, let me know, and we can play together. It is a really cool app. It's fast. You can draft different games. There's different modes. There's an all rookie league, and they are going to have daily fantasy. So it's something different. Like, fantasy football was kind of like stalling out where it was just getting the same. So this app, there's different bonuses and different little games. So it makes it fun. If you know, you know. So download it. It's the Fast Drop app and use code word bougie. And again, let me know so we can, play together and hopefully win a lot of money. Okay, speaking of fantasy football, I have Adam Brink coming on the podcast soon. I'm so excited to have him. Going to plan a little fun show, around fantasy football, but some other subjects too, like stay tuned, but that should be fun. Also coming up, which I cut his face off here. I don't know. I guess you can just tell by the boxing glove there. Ooh, there you go. Also coming up, I am super excited about this. On April 10th, I'm going to have Ray Boom Boom Mancini on the show. Legend, Youngstown legend, boxing legend. So much to ask him, not only about his career in boxing, but just about being from Youngstown and the Northeast Ohio area. So please stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions or anything, I will be asking for your help soon. All right, moving on. I just want to touch a little bit on my emo post. Here comes the violin. But thank you guys for listening to my emo post and my TED Talks. Sometimes I just kind of go on rants and I overshare. But, I'm okay with that because I appreciate the feedback that I get back in sharing my life with you guys and my thoughts. On Facebook today, I was just going to talk about this for a second because I do get in these like emo modes, like we all do sometimes, we all have moments where we're just like, blah. I've just felt like that lately. I don't know if it's the weather or it's, it's a combination of a lot of things. But like even before doing this podcast, it was, I look so bad. I might look how old I look, or I just like, I wasn't going to do it. And then I was like, you know what? Just do it, because every single time that I do put myself out there, it seems to always give me a positive experience. Even if it's not then, it's a learning experience, I feel like it's all on what you share. Don't share a lot of pictures of my daughter. which I have been now because she wants them to be shared. It's because of my own insecurities. Even though I show a lot of pictures of myself, I'm okay with putting myself on the internet like that, and what people do and what they post is, their decision. So I'm not saying that if you do post a lot of pictures of your kids, you just have different insecurities and you feel safe about it. I'm sure, it's, or whatever that it is. My thing was judging other people and their lives and past relationships. And I was just realizing the older that I get, the less judgmental I get because of the things that I've gone through in my own life. It's so easy to look at a couple, for example, and see, a breakup and take a side, right? But now, with how easy it is for people to mask their true selves, on social media, and there is a true thing. I don't want to get on this, is like a narcissist. Like, if you've ever met a true narcissist in your life, they are the type of people that outwardly can be so amazing and inside the home treat the people they're the closest to the worst. So even outside of your own inner circle, people that you think that you might not know, and the other person in the relationship that you think is a bad person might not be a bad person. Maybe they're a bad person. You don't know, and that's just not in relationships, in anything, just one of those things. And it's not coming from anything coming out of my personal life. I'll say that. Not that I don't have my own things going on in my personal life, It's just, that's not where this is coming from. It's just by living and meeting people and seeing that things can happen out of nowhere with people that you didn't expect. Don't be shocked if you find out this happened or this person had a secret life. It's a lot. So basically, worry about yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Mostly just need to worry about yourself. That was a lot. Let's go on to something else. Really quick, since it kind of goes on to it, my obsession with Twitter. I really go on Twitter a lot and put out my emotional, posts because I feel so comfortable there. I almost feel like I have done everything I could on that app. That at this point, if you don't know me by now or the kind of person that I am, then there's nothing I can do that's going to change your mind. You know what I mean? If you didn't like me at hello and you still don't like me, then you're never going to like me, right? Or if you think my posts are cringy, I don't care. And they are cringy, but I am cringy, right? And we know this. So I don't know. I just really always go to Twitter, and I love everybody on there. I love everyone on every social media platform. But, if I had a favorite kid, obviously. And I met so many friends off of that app, Speaking of apps, I am on the TikTok app. All right. So I, obviously I'm trying to do this social media thing because I like it. I don't know. I just say some people are, content creators and some people are content consumers. Either way, we all need each other. So you're either making TikToks, watching TikToks, and if you're completely out of it, fine, then you don't count. But I'm on the side of I like making stuff, and it's fun and I enjoy it. So I never did TikTok because I felt like I was way too old to do TikTok, but I am discovering that, you need to try to do it at least, because that is where a lot of people are going to get like sponsors and things like that. So I wish I really would have started at the beginning, but whatever. I'm on there now, and I've been trying to post as much as I can, which is great because there's like fun things you can do and really quickly to post. But I don't have a lot of followers on there. So follow me on TikTok. Hold on, do I have a thing on there? I don't have I think I have like 700 followers now, which I'm so thankful for because it's more than I had, and that's awesome. But I don't get it yet, I'm learning. I'm trying all the things too. I did the TikTok dance. Yes, I did. I did TikTok dance. So I do skits because I love them. I do the rankings. I do anything fun. I would do anything because I think it's fun. But I'm only seeing the same people in my like For You page, and it's all like how to get TikTok followers. Like, are you stuck in the 200 and 300 videos? Yes, but I don't know. Is this something that you have to pay for to get followers? Because I don't want to have to do that. My whole thing is having genuine following, because I feel like there's no such thing as a free lunch, I don't want to pay anyone that's not going to really watch my content. Like, I want people to really be like, oh, she's funny, or she's awesome, or she's amazing at fantasy football, which I'm sure is what I get mostly. Like, oh my God, this girl is so good at fantasy football, right? Yes. Okay. Download the Fast Trap app. Speaking of, you guys, use code word bougie. And if you want to work with me with your company, let me know. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here and then post it, and hopefully you'll watch it. I mean, if you're watching it right now, okay. In the future, I will watch this, and at least I'll know one person will be like, I'll watch it. Anyways, let me talk a little bit about what's happening in April. So much. Like I said, we have the NFL draft coming. At the beginning of the month, we are going to the Guardians home opener. Baseball kicked off yesterday. I know we had a lot of problems with streaming, which, just got me another subject in a rant I can go on, but I think I've done enough for today. But I'm going with a lot of the girls from Bougie Sports and some of the other girls from Twitter, and I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you guys will be there. Early celebration for Lana's birthday, and kick off the baseball season at home. I was going to say at the Jake, but you know what I meant. So that's going to be fun. Also, the Masters are coming up, and I'm going to be doing a show on that. I have Chicky coming on that show with me. I'm excited. It'll be her first time on Bougie Sports. We also have my Boom Boom Mancini interview, April 10th, like I said, which should be really fun. And then Adam Rink, and other things going on. So still pretending to have a podcast, and it's working pretty good, Anyways, thank you guys so much. Hold on. Please subscribe to Bougie Sports on YouTube. Follow the Bougie Sports Squad on X and on Facebook as well. On TikTok, please, on TikTok dancing, anywhere you can. If you see me, just please follow me. Even if you just want to follow me and mute me, I don't care. Just follow me, that would be awesome. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful week. Go Cavs. Bye, guys.